know how we get down. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Hey, this is Ed from Heights of Gaming, and today we're going to be reviewing Red, which I think is the best color in Innistrad. Here we have Ancient Grudge, 2 mana for a artifact removal, and it has a decent flashback cost. Artifacts can represent problems for vampires and werewolves, so the fact that they have this tool right here to take care of those problems is very good. We here see that Red has a lot of cards that I feel are more powerful than they really would usually have a right to be. Here we have a 2 mana for a 2/1. It's not too great, but the fact is that it actually does additional damage when it's blocked or blocks a creature. That means it's essentially a 3/1 creature. 2 mana for a 3/1, that's a little bit, overcosted. I mean, undercosted, to tell you the truth. Here we have a Baleful Dragon, 7 mana for a 6/6 flyer. Wow, what a bomb. This card comes out. They have to stop a flyer. If they can't stop that flyer, then you're going to do 6/6 to the whole entire field. It's enough to pretty much, nuke, everything that they have, and then, you still have your 6/6 flyer and all the rest of your guys. It's really good. It's a very effective bomb. It could even destroy those demons that we looked at earlier, 5/4 flyers, things like that. And next turn when it swings in, if they don't block, they have to block. And if they don't lose their demon, next turn is just going to swing in again, and you're going to clear its whole entire field. So this card is really one of the best bombs in the set in terms of limited. Blasphemous Act. Wow, this card is pretty much Wrath of God for red. If there's 5 monsters on the field, this card costs 3 mana and 1 red. That's even an easier requirement to achieve than Day of Judgment or Wrath of God. And if there's only 3 monsters, then it's 5 mana and 1 red, which isn't the worst thing, especially in a limited environment. It's a slower game by the time they build their field. With just 3 monsters, then you could clear the whole thing off. If they start to really take over with all those tokens, then, just blow them all up. Not a problem. Blasphemous Act is definitely, I think, a first pick in this format. Bloodcrazed Neonate. Here again we have a 2 mana for a 2/1. That's a fair cost, but it can pump up by +1/+1, and vampires also have other effects that pump up other vampires. This card could get really big, and it's a good addition to the vampire arsenal. Here we see there's quite a bit of removal. Brimstone Volley, good for activating Morbid. We see Burning Vengeance makes all your flashback spells have the additional, do 2 damage to target creature or player. An amazing card. Especially if we have a couple flashback spells, maybe even 3 or 4 flash spells. This card just brings a whole bunch of value to the game. Here we see cross vampires have more threats, and here's the enchantment that makes your guys bigger. So red, if they're not big enough, which I already feel like they're undercosted, they're just getting better and better. Curse of the Nightly Hunt. Wow, 3 mana and all your creatures, your opponent's creatures, have to attack your favor. You could force them into all kinds of suboptimal trades. It's really, really good. I just think Curse of the Nightly Hunt is just amazing. Usually red doesn't have this level of control over the field. And if red didn't have field control, it also has draw power. What? So blue does not have Preordain, does not have Ponder. Desperate Ravings is awesome. You cast your low-level powerful guy, and then, or if you're land flooded or whatever, you just set that card for removal, and then you draw 2 cards. It's really good. You might lose a bomb, but probably early in the game when you use a card, you won't. And it also has a flashback, so you can use it again if you're getting into a tough spot. I really like this card a lot, and it adds a nice little element to red that they usually don't have access to. Devil's Play, a good problem solver, a game ender if necessary. Marauders, excellent card for vampires. It should turn, at 5 mana, should turn to a 4/4 right away with flying and haste. And the turn after that could turn to a 6/6. It's not that hard. It could really run away with the game once you stop it right away. You have a wolf over here that has trample and can pump and get bigger and bigger. Early game he's good enough, 3 for a 1/2. That's decent. And then late game he turns into a possible house. Also wolves and those werewolves can pump each other. So he's definitely something that's a threat. Dice Flame, nice removal, the little pinger right there. The werewolves, we see that there's actually quite a few werewolves, probably more flip cards than in maybe even any other color. Possibly green has just as many flip cards, but red and green have the most flip cards. So that means if you open your packs and you're getting flip cards, you're most likely to pull the red ones. So that just makes that archetype a little bit better. Even you just have that better ability. Also, I said earlier that werewolves are not that good because they can be don't have control over their transform mechanism. That is true. However, some changes that they've made, such as introducing low drop werewolves, such as this girl down here, Reckless Waif, makes them much more threats. You can cast her early, and then if they run out of cards to cast, then she all of a sudden transforms into a 3/2. Not only that, but all your werewolves will transform at the same time. So your opponent, while they're wasting cards early game and mid game, trying to keep your Reckless Waif from transforming, then they'll run out of cards, and then all of a sudden, your Kieran Outlaw and all your other werewolves transform at the same time, turning into these huge, massive, trampling creatures that are just going to end the game really, really fast. A lot of vampire support in red as well, and a lot of removal and just decently costly creatures. Stormcreep Noble's also a decent threat. He gets bigger and bigger. 1 mana for a 1/1. And anything else really? Yeah, red is just, with its mass removal, ability to take care of artifacts, and strong creature archetypes, it's really the best color format, hands down.
You know how we get down? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, boy.